She hot.
What happened?
You are tuned into the Bianca Burwell Show on the Beat Radio, your top 40 pop and R&B station, the new beat of Atlanta. And we're going to throw it back a little bit today. We are going to play some old school music because I haven't played it in a while.
Just play it last week.
Yeah, once a week. Too.
That's right.
7
That
days.
was a while.
That is a while. Seven days is a while.
Just last week.
All right, let it be a paycheck. You be like, man, I ain't got paid in a while.
Stop playing.
All right.
About stuff.
I'm just saying.
You talking about my money? That's different.
I'm just saying, it's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to see everything that's going on in the station as it happens, just go to thebjobsradio.com and click on Watch Live, and you'll be able to see everything that's happening. We have the Q&A box open. So if you have any questions, give us about 20 seconds live time, and we'll be able to see it. Antonio, we got some topics we're going to be discussing today.
Oh, yeah. We definitely got some topics. I think y'all might want to call in, chime in on these topics here.
Call, y'all. Call. 404-826-9223. Call in.
I was about to do that. Why you do that?
Leave
about to do that?
All right, go ahead.
No.
We got a whole other number. Come on, man.
I don't even remember that.
All right. The listen line is 401-347-0418. Again, 401-347-0418. That is the listen line, and that works 24 hours a day. 24 hours a day. So it doesn't matter when it is. But we're going to be touching on some topics today. The Army, apparently, are they enforcing bias hairstyle restrictions against blacks? Certainly looks like it, so we're going to discuss that today. This craziness about Beyonce, Jay-Z, and Kanye being sued for $2.4 billion.
I mean, you interrupt somebody's award ceremony again?
Nah, we don't talk about that, man.
No, how you
The Senate blocks the minimum wage bill, and yo, I remember when Pebbles was on Wendy Williams after the TLC biopic came out, and she said it wasn't about money, but it seems like it is to me because she sues now. She filed a $40 million lawsuit. $14 million lawsuit. That seems like it's about money to me, but maybe I'm wrong.
I think you're right on this one. I usually disagree, but I think you're right on this one.
So, if you haven't done so, like us on Facebook so you can see when we have these different type topics come up. Tell all your friends to tune in right now to the Beat Drops Radio, the Bianca Burwell Show. What's going on? 93.1 FM there in Toledo, Ohio. We're going to kick it off with the Ohio Players Love Roller Coaster. Keep it like right here on the Bianca Burwell Show. Sunday morning for Sunday morning inspiration right here on the Beat Drops Radio. Starting at 9 a.m. Again, every Sunday morning inspiration right here on the Beat Drops Radio. 9 a.m. Make sure you tune in. Download the tune in app so you can take it wherever you go. We're the app right here on the station. Stream right here. We are here. Make sure you get that inspiration to tune in. You are tuned into the Bianca Burwell Show, the Beat Drops Radio, and also 93.1 FM Toledo. What's going on, Antonio?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great.
Are you?
Oh, yeah.
I think you're a little sugared up a little bit.
You know it. Why do you think I'm feeling good? I'm feeling great. And that sugar rush going on, like a little 6-year-old at a candy store.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
You ain't gonna start jumping around, are you?
Not this time. I might spin in the chair a couple times.
Oh, Lord.
You know, I like to do that.
Oh, my God. Really?
Oh, yeah. Anyway, you're trying
Speaking of, I'm sorry.
That's so good.
Speaking of that 6-year-old situation,
Uh-oh.
I went to the cable company today.
No, you didn't.
I went to the cable company today, and what I don't understand is how you have certain mothers,
Oh,
that apparently do not know how to control their children. They running all over the doggone place, screaming, ah! Rolling on the floor. Everyone's looking. The mama is over there in line, acting as if she don't hear nothing.
Like Mexican.
You know that? Listen. So, as I'm there, and I'm on a conversation discussing some business regarding this business, and I'm telling the person on the phone, I know it sounds like a daycare, however, I am in the cable place. Now, my mother called.
Oh, wow.
I said, hold on, click on it. Hello. My mama heard all that noise in the background. Like, what is all that noise in the background? And I could see her face as I was listening.
I can see your face now as I'm listening.
I can see her. I said, Mama, I know it sounds like a daycare situation, but I'm actually at the cable company. At the cable. Now, everything in me, the mother in me had to restrain from snatching somebody else's children. Snatching.
That's why I can't work with kids.
I don't understand how you can be in a public place and let your kids run up and down, flipping over, doing somersaults on the floor, getting up on the furniture, yes, jump off the furniture, right? Screaming and yelling. Now the ladies that were working behind the counter, I recognized the look.
Mm-hmm.
I recognized the look was like, you won't get dirt.
That reminds me of the Bernie Mac daycare.
Woo!
Bernie Mac daycare.
You kicking the leg or something?
No.
He said,
He said, look here, if you send somebody to my daycare, and you come and pick him up, and they got a knot on his head, it's because I took a hammer and knocked the hell out your kid, jumping on my couch with his shoes on. What the hell wrong with you? Better come kick your kid. I guarantee you, give me 3 days, maybe even 4. They'll be straightened up and tight right. I promise you. Don't mess with me. I'm the Mac man. Send them to Bernie Mac daycare all day, 24/7. I'm wearing these little motherfuckers. Excuse me. I'm just saying.
Man, I tell you, that was the craziest crap I had ever seen in my life.
Yeah, tell me something.
It was aggravating. Now, the dude in front of me, the guy in front of me, he's listening.
You tripping.
He's listening. You know what? Thank you so much, Ernest. He's saying, how do you do your job so good all day? Actually, we work at it. We do. We work at it.
Ernest trying to get free t-shirt. Look at you.
But we appreciate you for tuning in, Ernest. Thank you. And all of you all that are listening, you can tune in and watch everything live just by going to thebeatdropsradio.com, click on Watch Live, and the Q&A box is open. You can use it just like Ernest is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So the guy in front of me was cracking up because he's hearing what I'm saying on the phone. He was dying. So the lady finally was called up it was two ladies. I realized after they got up to the counter. When they got up to the counter, then they told us like, shh, shh, shh. I said, the hell? You about to be quiet now because you up at the counter. They been running all around. He was weak. That joker was dying laughing. I was like, really? They gonna be quiet now? They done ran all up and through and flip-flopped and everything else. Why they gonna be quiet now? You don't let them just run up and act a fool.
So it's two ladies that didn't give it.
They just didn't care. They were together. And it made sense.
Wow.
So they go over to the chair and tell one of them to be quiet, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe she gave her a look or popped her or something. I don't know. I couldn't see. But she was like, she started crying. I was like, that would have been happening. Because what happens is, you got to teach young mothers. Young mothers, y'all need to know how to deal with your children. Young parents, period. See, 101. Parenting 101. When you have children, you have to establish a relationship with them very young. They understand the word no very young. I'm talking about when they're crawling and pulling up on stuff.
Mm-hmm.
No. You don't let them do whatever, because if you do that, then that lets them feel like they can do whatever they want to do. Example. If your children are pulling up on the coffee table and getting their hands on every single thing and you move everything off, don't do that. You don't move everything off of the coffee table. You leave it. And when they go to reach for it, you say no. They go to reach for it, you say no. A third time, pop that hand and say no. Because if you don't train, you do not punch them in the forehead.
It's the hardest part.
If you train them not to touch stuff on the coffee table, when you go to somebody else's house and when you go visit somebody else, they don't have to start worrying about the stuff on their coffee table because your child already knows don't touch it.
My grandmother always said charity starts at home. Train them right when you're home, you ain't got to do nothing.
You ain't got to worry about it.
Be outside. You might have to pop a little bit to tell them something, but that's about it.
Oh my God. And before, when I was younger, my mama, before we went into the store, that joker said, and it made me feel like, why am I even going?
Don't touch nothing, don't look at nothing, don't say nothing,
you know
just walk and hold your head down. Shut up.
Well, I didn't have that. That inner part, the first part is like the same, because she said with a look, don't you look at nothing, don't touch nothing, don't ask for nothing, you ain't getting nothing. I was thinking to myself, why am I going?
What did I do?
If I ain't getting nothing, I can't touch nothing, don't look at nothing. Why am I here?
You can't be trusted at home by yourself.
I'd rather stay at home and just play outside. Yeah. So you've got to have that look so that they understand, number one, who is the parent, and the parent runs the household. The children does not. They do not run the household.
Nowadays, parents trying to be friends.
Are you crazy? That's the craziest crap ever.
I had to have a talk with my daughter by the time she would turn 3. I had grabbed her by a little. She was doing something. I can't remember exactly what she was doing. I grabbed her by a couple of looked at that and I said, look here, I'm not your friend. I'm your father. You respect me as such. There ain't no ifs, ands, or buts in between. If I tell you to do something, you do it. I don't care if you like it. You don't even have to show that you like it, but it better get done. Now go over there and act right. She sat down with little tears in her eyes, but I guess she ain't doing no more. I didn't have to move her.
See, who started out this? This timeout mess? Y'all young parents, that crap don't work.
Well, I do it from time to time. I do it from time to time. My timeout is put your nose to the wall. You don't say nothing for a certain amount of time because I don't like whooping my kids.
How many timeouts did you get usually?
So,
okay, so that's my point.
No, I got a couple. When my mother got tired of it, I'm dead serious. But I was always.
Your own punishment type situation?
Nah. I never really got many whoopings when I was a kid. Like when I was real younger, I was always real smart and was always able to get away with stuff. Without out about it. So, but with my kids now, they tasted a good butt whooping. You know what I mean? When they get that good butt whooping, you can tell them to go to timeout because they know what's next. That little timeout don't work. Oh yeah, they know what's next. So I don't really have to.
I never did timeout, but careless.
Yeah.
Because I just was like, that type of stuff. Nah, that don't do a whole lot. In my eyes, it don't.
Well, if you have two, I have 2 kids, so if one is on timeout and she see the other one playing, just It's straight up. It's straight
Now, I can
up.
see, get your behind look. Sit down. Now, my husband, it's different for men than it is for
Oh yeah, I agree.
women. We've got to put that fear. I'm telling you, especially raising little boys, that fear has to be put there. Otherwise, that little boy gonna grow up to be a young man who does not respect his mama and feels like he can run over her.
And other women.
Mm-hmm.
Don't have no respect.
Gotta have respect. And if you don't have respect, good God, it's just gone. So that was my outing earlier today at the cable spot. I just was like, the mama in me really wanted to snatch the mess out of both them kids and the parents. Don't you see them run around here and acting a fool? That don't make no doggone sense.
I would have gave the parents the look. Just
everybody else.
get your kids.
I mean, we looking. I'm just on the phone like this. Don't make no doggone sense. They know they see these kids run around here, and one of the ladies grabbed the remote, came around the front, put it on Mickey Mouse. Turned the TV on, put on Mickey Mouse. They said, Mickey Mouse! Mickey Mouse! Back to running back and forth. That held their attention for every bit of 5 seconds. I'm just saying. Good God. When we come back, y'all, we're going to talk about the Pentagon vows to untwist the black hairstyle controversy. Apparently, they are looking like they are enforcing biased hairstyles against black women. That's what it looks like. So keep it locked right here.
Information on that one, but
yeah, I mean, I just found it very interesting when I saw this, and unfortunately, this is carried over into some other type stuff too. So we're gonna talk about it. So you got an opinion? Call 404-826-9223 right now. We're gonna roll to some dance band. Keep it locked.
single parent, low income, with too many kids, especially girls, are still waiting for the world. Violence
We'll talk about it.
You know, I downloaded that.
Your
Right?
brother's excuses and I'm not eating.
Oh, did you?
I should learn more from people systems.
You are tuned into the Bianca Burwell Show on the BJobsRadio.com.
Just that right now.
Yeah, I did just. And 93.1 FM Toledo.
Oh, yeah. What's up, Toledo? How y'all doing today? Hopefully y'all feeling good, feeling great. Hopefully y'all had no real problems and everything is going your way. Just in case you want to call in, chime in, questions, comments, concerns, the call-in number is 404-826-9223. Number again is 404-826-9223. And just in case you want to listen in, you don't want to say nothing, you just want to listen in, go shadow a brother.
Yeah.
That number is 401-347-0418. So you ain't got no excuse. Tune in. That's right, I said it.
I see you said it. So there's a situation that's going on with the Pentagon and also the Army about black hairstyles. And I was looking on a couple different sources, but CNN, when I saw this, and I saw this late last night, because trust, and I'd seen it yesterday, we would have addressed it on yesterday, you know. And we'll give a few more updates as far as that Donald Sterling thing a little later on. But hey, it ain't even a week old yet, so they're gonna still keep talking about it. You know, it's still hot news.
No, I'm talking about. I'm just tired of that guy. Period. Like, you old as hell. You ain't dead yet.
Really?
Man, I'm sorry.
All right. So the Pentagon, apparently they're going to review their policies on hairstyles, Antonio, because some of the soldiers have said, look, you know, this is crazy. It's racially and culturally biased. And the Defense Secretary Chuck Hagel, and what he did was he notified the Congress that he has directed his deputy to, quote, work with service secretaries and the military chiefs to review the respective policies to address the issues raised by members of Congress, I'm about to say Chamber of Commerce, about grooming standards, particularly for African American females. So this is going to be taking place over the next month. But during the next 3 months, each service will review their hairstyle policies as they pertain to African American women to ensure standards are fair and respectful of our diverse force, while also meeting the military service requirements, which I find very interesting. And I also find it interesting that nobody has said anything prior to now. Is that a little interesting to you?
Well, I want to chime in on this. You know, of course, I was in the military.
Yes, I did.
But
And that's why I wanted to. What do you think?
Well, in basic, a funny thing happened. We're actually going through the gas chamber, and where you have full chem equipment and everything on, and gas masks and things like that.
Yeah.
And 2 ladies had twists. One of them had like the twist up in braids, you know, thick braids, and of course they were short because it can't exceed past the collar, your collar.
Gotcha.
And the other lady just had, you know, the twist. What were they called?
My kinky twist?
Yeah, kinky twist.
Okay.
Back then it was kinky twist.
Yeah.
I guess it's the same thing now, whatever. But so the lady went in with the kinky twist that was braided up, in large braids. She put on her gas mask. She went into the gas chamber, and the gas seeped in, and you know, her gas, it didn't have any sealant. You know what I mean? And and if that were mustard, now of course the whole process is we go in with full chem gear, and we have our gas mask on. We drop the pellet, the room fills with gas, and then we take off our mask. It's tear gas. We take off our mask and, you know, recite ABCs or count from 1 to 30 or something like that. Then we go up. Yeah, the reason is because so we can trust our equipment. We know that we're working. We know that it's working.
Okay.
And you know the difference between tear gas and any other type of gas. When it hits you, you need to immediately put it on.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Anything more than tear gas, you need to immediately put that on.
Exactly what it is. You're familiar. You know your equipment's gonna work.
Because you only have a certain amount of time. I think if you have you have, I think, maybe 15 seconds until any other nerve agent gas actually affects you to death. You have to, you have to put your gas mask on so it can actually filter out your lungs since you already have it in there immediately. So that's why, that's why they make us take. That's one of the reasons why they make us take it off. So we know it's actual tear gas.
Well, that makes sense.
So the lady went in there, and it immediately affected her. She panicked. She threw up. She couldn't breathe.
Oh, wow.
She had to go immediately to the hospital. And because she didn't know what was going on. She had instruction, but if you have no way to breathe and you're not prepared for it, you're like, what do I do?
Your body automatically is in self-preservation mode. Your body does that automatically.
So the other young lady that was there about to come up, they checked her mask. She put it on, and they checked it, and it wouldn't seal up. So she couldn't go through the gas chamber, and she actually had to be held back. I think another 2 weeks of basic training until she got her hair done or got it out or something like that. Because she couldn't do it with that hairstyle. Now, on that perspective, I understand, because if your hair is a certain way, you can't properly wear the uniform, whether it be equipment or whether it be the uniform itself. Now, certain natural hairstyles, you can't properly wear your hat to where it's regulation standards.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So on that, I understand. Black women have so many options of hairstyles and things like that, and they're probably not thinking of that. But in a sense, I know some CEO, NCOs or COs or COs.
How many times you gonna say CO?
I was trying to get the right one. Like, is that the right CO? Yeah,
I got
it's a mission officer.
Okay, got you.
So, because I was thinking CEO, I'm like, that ain't right.
All right, roll with it.
Anyway, but yeah, the COs, they will jump on you for just, if there's not perfect regulation or anything like that, you easily get right up over something petty.
Well, I think that's the basis of what it is right here, because the latest twist in the hairstyle saga follows an uproar over the Army's new grooming guidelines. Those rules require that things such as hair must be of uniform dimensions, small in diameter, approximately 1/4 inch, show no more than 1/8 of an inch of the scalp between the braids. Current Army rules ban dreadlocks and twists of any kind, as well as styles that use as unkept or matted. Unkept or matted. And I think that right there, well, usually when people say matted, they're referring to the natural state of black hair, which is called an uproar. So that type of language wrangled African American soldiers, their supporters, and the female members of the Congressional Black Caucus, who said the guidelines force African American women with natural hair textures, what that means is unaltered by any type of heat or chemicals. But some people don't. To either cut or straighten their roots in order to conform to the Army's rules and mainstream cultural standards. Cut or straighten. There. So it's like,
turn white.
You got to be something that you're not.
Right.
So the Army rules also touched on centuries-old cultural identity politics that have been a sensitive issue for the black community since slavery. So during that time, and for the generations that followed, straighter hair texture and lighter skin complexion was used to classify which slaves were more valuable and seen as more attractive, African American scholars. So could it be that the uniform may have been, now I'm going to say this, and I'm not in the military, but I did grow up in a military household. My father is a retired master sergeant in the Air Force. My brother is an E7 in the military, E8. We're accustomed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Following rules and guidelines and things of that nature.
But it's different when it's men and women.
Yeah.
And you have to be very sensitive with the women, of course, because I do understand where the military's come from. All in all, they want it to be neat. Some of the natural hairstyles, that's where I said it. Some of the natural hairstyles are not neat. They're not what the uniform, the military would consider a neat hairstyle that will go with your neat uniform. Because I mean, every day your uniform has to be pressed, has to be creased, has to look a certain way.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And so does So does your appearance. So that natural hairstyle they feel looks wild and unkept. You know, and I've heard actual military personnel say that. You know, first sergeants and things of that nature. I heard them actually say that it looks wild and unkept, and you need to go make it neat. You need to mimic your uniform, your representation. You are a representation.
Isn't it possible? Isn't it possible? Just asking, because I don't know. Isn't it possible that certain uniforms and uniform standards were made specifically for a particular individual?
Absolutely.
Because I've seen that, and I'm not talking about just the military. I'm talking about just regular jobs. You know, and I've had a few of them where the type of job I knew was not meant for someone like me.
Mm-hmm.
And it was hard, but I had to conform as best as I could. But I knew that that particular job was not designed for me. So what I'm saying is, are we sure that the uniforms and the type of job that's happening couldn't have been designed for someone else? So therefore now you're having issues because we have to have inclusion at this point.
Well, I mean,
I'm just asking.
That's common sense that the military was designed for whites, period. That's what I said. The military
I'm just asking.
Let me put it like this. The military was designed for whites. They didn't want us in there in the first place. We had to bust our butts. We had to prove that we were better, that we weren't inferior, that we were in fact
Relax.
You know, we had to prove that in order to gain ranks, in order to be generals, in order to gain some type of power, respect, and type of recognition of superiority. So when it comes to the structure of the military, I don't understand why people are surprised. You go into the military knowing that you're about to become government property. There is complete structure and guidelines.
When you were recruited, I don't know what the process is or what the process was for you when you were recruited, but when you were recruited, you know, were you abreast of everything before you went, or did you learn that after you enlisted?
Well,
just asking.
No, you weren't.
You didn't know.
When you're in, that's why they send you through basic training, so you can gain knowledge of everything. They teach you those guidelines in basic training and AIT and you know, in what tech school the Air Force has.
Yeah.
You know, they tell you these guidelines. You have to learn these guidelines.
Did you say they learned you? Was that?
No. I said you have to learn. See, why you messing with me? I'm trying to be serious. When they get swollen and everything, man, listen. But you have to learn these guidelines. So there is no ifs, ands, or buts when you actually get how things become a little relaxed, that you can just relax on these guidelines.
Okay, so you go through basic training, you find out, oh, this is some crack on that. Can you just get out?
In basic?
Yes.
It's a possibility. It's a very
much a possibility, but
people don't know.
Can you get out?
People don't know how to.
This ain't for me.
Yes.
I got to go.
Yes, you can. Of course, they're going to try to push on you that, oh, you signed a contract, blah, 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 and things like that. But under that contract, when you sign that contract, it states a certain job. And therefore, you have that basic training is your probation period. So if you cannot complete that basic training and get into that job, then there is a loophole where you can actually get out. You do have access to lawyers.
Okay, well, let me bring this up. If you have a female soldier that's been deployed, and she goes to, let's just say, Afghanistan. Last I checked, if she's out there for more than a couple of months, how is she going to gain access to any straightening chemicals to make sure that her hair is abiding by the guidelines that's set forth?
Because different rules when you're overseas at war on the war-torn area than it is when you're actually.
But you still would have to consider the gas mask, like you talked about. All of the uniforms are the same. So if she's deployed overseas, or somewhere where there's no way for her to be able to get a hold of those straightening chemicals to keep her hair the way that it's supposed to be, then when she is attacked by, like what you described earlier, gas or tear gas, whatever it is, and she puts on that gear, she's done.
Well, most times when women are deployed, they're deployed to a certain bases overseas. The already made bases where they have stores, base exchange, and things like that, where you can get what you need to get. You know what I mean? Because I mean, women have to go a little deeper, and I mean, women need tampons and pads, so you still have to get those. And
But
those,
you can pack that. They can pack it.
they can, but they have that ready for women over there. They can, believe it or not, they can get their chemicals because legally they're not supposed to be in war fighting. You know, usually when it happens, you find so many. I'm not saying that it don't happen.
Okay.
But you know, because there's plenty of women that came over here disabled and died in war-torn areas. But they're not supposed to be in war fighting, holding the guns on the front lines. No, technically.
Really?
Yeah, they're not. But they're still able to be sent over war-torn areas because we still need. They have jobs. Cooks, supply, loaders, and things like that. Techs. So I mean, they have at the base they make sure that you have a base exchange and make sure that you are able to exchange goods.
Okay.
Wherever you're deployed. So you are able. I'm sorry, it is. You are able.
I was going to say that.
I had to correct myself.
Okay.
It's the sugar. It's the sugar.
I guess so.
That 6-year-old coming out.
Well, I just think it's a healthy conversation to have. Maybe some things need to be considered or reconsidered, seeing as though the standards of the guidelines was developed at the time of slavery anyway.
Of course.
So
it's like the Constitution.
it just seems as though some things can be reevaluated. That it might not fit to present time of where we are. And also consider the premise upon why it was designed the way that it was. And it wasn't considering certain ethnicities or ethnic groups. I mean, because there are a few, not a lot, but there are a few white folks that have nappy hair. There are some Hispanics that have nappy hair.
When they hear nappy, they turn up like palette. Like,
really?
What is that?
Really?
What is that?
Something.
That's why I said.
You said that.
Whatever.
Something.
So.
So
the thoughts of Antonio not that the Beat Drops Radio or BNBS at 3000.
So it's just some things need to be, I believe, reconsidered and also look at what the root of something was and why it was created.
Well, did you say this was an updated guideline that they just actually put into the guideline?
This is what they're discussing.
No, I'm saying you're saying the already established guidelines, but didn't they just?
Yes, these are already established guidelines. Right. They're addressing that portion of it because they were like, no.
Oh,
what they're saying is talk about specifically to.
I thought you said it was an updated guideline that they're addressing now.
Yeah, it is something that has been updated.
Okay.
The specifics of the twist and the quarter inch and the eighth of an inch and all of that.
I guess some people have something for them to actually address it.
Yeah. All it takes is somebody gotta say something in order for something to be updated.
No, exactly. That's it. Because I know a lot of women that came in, they never said anything about it, but they went through, they suffered because of it. With gas masks and things of that nature, your helmet, stuff like that. So I'm surprised they didn't update it sooner, and where I'm sure it would have been addressed sooner as well.
All right. Well, straight ahead, we're gonna be talking about Beyonce, Jay-Z, Kanye being slapped with a $2.4 billion.
Billion?
Yeah, $2.4 billion. It's some craziness, and also Pebbles with her $40 million. It ain't about money lawsuit dealing with TLC biopic. He's crazy. All right now, Sherilyn, shake it up tonight. Keep it locked right here on the Bianca Burwell Show.
Especially my wife and I took that decision to try to.
That's pretty heavy.
We already had homework, so I want to come fast and turn around. Planning love, so it's oh, that's going like that. That's cold. Some juice. She's too sad.
Please don't put this on. I put it all over.
It's wet. It needs something.
Don't break my juice. Let's try it.
You ready to try it?
No, baby.
Encourage your kids to be active and eat healthy.
It's okay.
Surprise
As you took another step, you saw it.
search weekend for more
Hey.
updates on how you can
What's that? You're playing on your tablet.
That was switched.
Huh?
website and contact information to the Trust Set up today. Experts are gearing up to expanding our network to interesting, creative, fun, original, and captivating shows. And this just like we are family friendly top 40 top and artist station located in the Atlanta area. Not living in the Atlanta area and have regular shows, we have time slots available too. Don't delay and email us today at bigdropstream.com.
You are tuned into the Bianca Burwell Show on the Beat Drops Radio, your top 40 pop and R&B station, the new beat of Atlanta. Man! Antonio?
93.1 Ohio?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Call in, y'all, 404-826-9223. Again, 404-826-9223 is the calling number.
Just in case you want to listen in as well, you can hit us up at 401-347-0418.
Yep.
You had to hit the section, just 0418.
Is that what it was?
Really?
Okay.
Really?
I was just wondering, is that what that was?
Hater.
Not at all.
Man, what's happening with B and J and Kanye? He got drunk again?
No.
What's that?
Man, this has got to be. Now, we see a few lawsuits that have come up lately, right?
Yeah, like the tickets. You saw that $8,000 for you crazy?
Are you serious? I didn't see that.
I saw one of the tickets. I think it was front row. What was it, like 8,000
$8,000 to go see them perform the same stuff that I can listen to.
for free? I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
$8,000? The hell?
Grande.
Ain't no way I'm paying $8,000 to see nobody perform.
So I didn't see different stuff. Now $8,000 might be a little over exaggeration, but I've seen some tickets that were 800. I've seen some tickets that were 2,500.
You know, when Justin Bieber was here in Atlanta, the last time he was here, I was just looking at tickets and stuff, and just trying to get a feel of different genres. You know what I'm saying? And what do folks pay? And these little kids, no, not at all. These little kids, we don't pay. These little kids got their mamas paying $2,000 and $3,000 for tickets to go see.
I'll pay that for a Prince concert or a Michael Jackson
I
concert.
wouldn't even pay that for no Prince concert as much as I like Prince. I'm not paying.
I would like that.
Are y'all serious? Are you serious?
I will go up there in a purple onesie. Yes, the hell I will.
Don't give me no. Don't give me that music. Okay?
So, sex in my onesie, trip.
Man, whatever. So apparently, this story came up on yesterday as well. I was like, I have got to share this with the listening and the viewing audience.
Yo, I swear, when you first brought it up, I'm thinking like, okay, do they all have to, okay, is they coming out with a sex thing too?
No.
Like, what's going on?
Oh my God, that would be terrible. That would be terrible. I'd be like, nah, they would lose all kinds of, especially me. Her brand would take a nosedive. Take a nosedive. Yeah, I'm not so sure that Mimi didn't do that to herself either, because the hype was there,
And now it's gone.
and then where'd it go?
It's gone now.
So you can put yourself out there like that,
I
and
mean, she wasn't really that.
now what?
Right. I guess she wanted attention, man, because she really wasn't that hot or had that much attention anyway from the beginning. Nobody really respected her at all.
No, she did have a little respect as far as how she was handling the situation that,
With her and Jocelyn.
yes. And she was looked more at. She was more respected. Okay.
She was looked more as a victim. I don't consider that
She did.
but
She gained a lot more notoriety. I mean, as far as how she handled the situation, a lot more classy than we looked at. Yeah. So then when you turn around and do a sex tape,
now she has notoriety.
now it's like, really, Mimi?
You're desperate now?
You're not going to be invited to Clark Atlanta no more. To sit on. I'm serious, because she was sitting on panels at Clark Atlanta. That ain't happening no more.
Absolutely not.
Because you killed that. So I don't think that she sat there and really considered, what can this do for my career? Or maybe she didn't even think about where she wanted her career to go.
Like most black people in business, they don't really take into consideration the longevity of their decisions at that moment. They're thinking or looking at the temporary money that they can gain right then and there, and not thinking how it's going to affect them in the long run.
I don't know if I would say most. I would say some.
In business, I'm talking about
I'm talking about business right now. I would say some.
Most that I've met, it's very few, and I commend you for that, because you have definitely been, since I've known you, you've definitely been on your stuff.
Well,
You know what I mean? But I have yet
Y'all
to
heard
meet.
that, right? I got it recorded.
Huh. Dang. I didn't mean that. That's it.
Whatever.
But most black people that I've met, I have yet to meet someone that's like, you know what I mean, that's really on their business, that keep a straight business, and you know what I mean, we all make our mistakes in the past, and we all have hurdles, we all go through a growing process.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't learn from their mistakes. You definitely have, and many entrepreneurs that I have seen, have not grown, are still doing the same thing, are still trying to nickel and dime, don't want to be legit, sign contracts, or even get the contracts to people in an expedient manner.
Well, all right, Mimi. I guess the saga continues as far as she's concerned, because I really do think that she jacked herself up. And that's just my personal thought. I may not be right. I'm not always right. Y'all might have another thought who's listening, but I think she jacked herself.
I'm always right sometimes. She messed up.
Did you say I'm always right sometimes?
That's right, I said it. I'm
That's
always right
crazy.
sometimes.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
All right,
so it does be.
So yeah, this is bizarre celebrity-like lawsuits is what's happening. Okay, a prisoner in California is suing. A prisoner, is suing some of the biggest names in pop music for more than $2 billion. All right, and this was originally reported by Retox. Okay, an inmate, his name is Richard Dupree. Richard Dupree. Yeah, he filed a $2.4 billion lawsuit against Beyonce, Jay-Z, Kanye West, Rihanna, and Chris Brown, claiming the star stole song lyrics he had been writing while he was incarcerated.
How did they get the song lyrics to steal?
Well, he also says that, it says that Dupree filed the lawsuit in California's Eastern District Court on April the 21st and believes that Beyonce and Jay-Z worked with the CIA, FBI, and Homeland Security, among other agencies, to spy on him and obtain his lyrics. He believes that Chris Brown, Kanye West, and Rihanna were co-conspirators in the crime, and that the gang of pop stars stole 3,000 songs from him. So this should be a fun situation for everybody that's involved about this. Really, I feel like you just wasted people's time and money.
Yeah, most definitely. For one, I would guarantee you this stuff is probably not copyrighted. For two,
and did he even have it? Ain't nobody worried about that, dude.
Exactly. I'm surprised that you even found that. Where the hell did you find that?
I mean,
you was bored, weren't you?
I mean,
you was bored as hell.
No, I wasn't bored. I'm looking to see what's going on in the news.
Yeah, but that should be at the low of lowest list. You know what I mean? That's some stupid.
It's crazy. You know, I always do weird news and crazy stuff like that.
How do you listen to music anyway? You in jail?
Man, whatever. In jail, they got Facebook pages, web pages. They got all kinds of stuff.
That's crazy. I don't know what that.
They got all kinds of stuff. And in all actuality, since they got all that, because they don't even have to really worry about smuggling cell phones in to the jails no more, because all these devices right now, you can have a computer.
Saving a lot of butts.
But I mean, it's all kinds of stuff, apps and things of that nature that you can utilize to make phone calls from those devices.
Yep.
I'm just saying.
Hey, can you take some money off my books and put it on this Skype account, man? We'll call my mom.
I'm just saying.
Google Voice and all that.
All kind of stuff taking place, you know. Man, so talking about saving money.
murder and rapists, the internet and everything. Some people don't even have internet in their own home and they free. Some people can't even get the tune in now. They gotta call the listen line number 401-347-0418. They gotta call the listen line number and call in because they can't even get the tune in now. If you telling me this fool Bobo that robbed and killed 3 people and shot somebody at a convenience store and died 13 times, you telling me he get internet?
Not that that's what he did because we don't know for sure.
I say a Bobo, but I don't know what Mr. 3 did. He kind of retarded. He sound retarded anyway. Yeah. How about you go online?
He said he ain't got nothing else to do.
How about you go online and try to get a class?
What I don't understand is who allowed him to file that? When you're in jail, can you just file anything you want?
Yeah. You can.
Seriously?
Legal proceedings, yeah, you can.
Really?
Yes, you can.
Who is paying for that?
The only people you can't file against in jail is the warden, the DA, or the guards.
That's crazy, man. That's got to be the craziest crap I've ever heard.
But I'll take that back. Not the guards. You can file things against the guards. Won't go past the warden, I'm pretty sure. But you can't file against the warden or the DA.
That's
you have to wait till you get out to that. If you're a lifer, sorry, bro. Better know somebody on the outside playing.
Well, you know somebody else who ain't worried about nothing?
Who?
Look, Jesus. The Republicans.
Duh.
Senate Democrats did not advance their bill to raise the minimum wage on Wednesday. That vote failed by 54-42 to clear the filibuster threshold.
Filibuster?
Filibuster.
They said filibuster.
Anyway, so, the vote was an early hurdle for legislation that Democrats have put to the top of their economic agenda for the year. Even if the measure eventually garners like 60 votes needed to overcome a Republican filibuster in the Senate, it still faces long odds in the GOP-controlled House, where Republicans have shown no interest in bringing it to the floor.
See, this word.
But look, I got my feelings on minimum wage, and I voiced them. You can share yours.
Look, all I'm saying is that if the president can use his executive power to help out gays and immigrants, he should be able to use his He should put his executive power to work that helps out everybody and do something with this minimum wage bill and other things that we have a problem with.
I'm gonna tell you how I feel about it.
No, you did.
How I feel about the minimum wage raised up to $10 or 10 an hour, and I know my auntie up there in Toledo is not gonna be pleased with what I'm about to say. She's part of NAACP up there. Hey auntie, yeah, more. It's my auntie. All right, so I don't think it should be raised. I think you should leave it alone. And I'm going to tell you why. If you raise the minimum wage to $10, now this is coming from someone who has a great deal of experience in hospitality, restaurants, staffing, stores, and all that. If you do that, I'm telling you right now, that dollar menu you like, it's going to roll bye-bye. Because somebody has got to pay for the raise for all of these individuals. It's people are looking at it from the standpoint of, can nobody live off of $7.25? True. It wasn't meant for an adult to live off of $7.25 to begin with. Those jobs were meant for those that are entering into the workforce to get the experience necessary in order to help guide them as to where it is that they're trying to go in life. That was never meant to be the type of a position to support a head of a household, ever.
I agree.
So if somebody in high school, if a high school student makes $10 an hour, $400 a week, or 8, 12, $1,600 a month at 16, I want you to think about this. Is he gonna? But listen to what I'm saying. No, he'll make more than that. He'll make more than that. He'll bring home more than that. But what I'm saying is, at 16, and I see how they are even at 7.25. How serious are they with a whole bunch of other stuff? You already got a child that's got a lot of disposable income. A lot of disposable income because they don't pay bills, right? They don't have to pay no car insurance.
You're looking at the majority of America. And the majority of America is between in between 16 and 20, the rate for unemployment for blacks is like what, 30% or something?
I'm talking about everybody. I ain't talking about just. I'm talking about everybody. It was not meant to be a job to support the head of a household. It never was meant to be that. So when you do that, who you start hurting is folks, small entrepreneurs and business owners. Because looking at it from a perspective, what's going on in New Zealand? Looking at it from a perspective of these people can't. But who are the ones that's fueling and creating the jobs? It's always been the small business owner and entrepreneur.
Since you put it like that,
So if they've got it now, $7.25 on somebody that's just going, we got to pay $10.10 an hour. I'm not going to hire that many people no more. Workforce is going to get cut. All of those cheaper things that we go and frequent. If you got $3 in your pocket, you know you can at least, and a little bit of change in your little
chips.
You know you can at least go get you a chicken sandwich and a value fry and some water or a little small drink. You ain't gonna have that no more. That's gonna be gone. Or they'll start automating, and those people that everyone has lobbied so hard to get them more money, now they find themselves out of a job, or they might get 10 hours a week because can't afford it. There are budgets that are in place that folks don't realize when you on the hospitality side or staff in a store, you know, that you have to abide by those budgets. And if you don't make the money, if you're paying out more than what you're bringing in, that's a deficit. Therefore, that business is not going to make it.
Spoken like a true capitalist.
Hey, man, I'm being straight up.
You know what? I agree with you on that. Since you put it that way, and of course, I was and still am one of the people that's looking at it as a standpoint of actually surviving and paying rent and bills of that nature. But since you do put it like that, I can see your point, and it's actually valid. You know, I can see how if you do raise that minimum wage, it takes away so many things that we have right now, you know, including the dollar menu. I mean, it takes away not only from the employees, but also the consumers as well, the customers. You know,
so, pay for it.
And then even the employees, if you start off paying $10 an hour, they're not going to actually have any motivation to actually
what do you work
raises
for?
Exactly.
You always have something like, man, when I get a
I'm
raise,
get there.
you got something to work towards.
Exactly.
If you come in the door, you tell me, I mean, how many first jobs did you have that started off paying $10 an hour?
My first job was like 25.
I'm just saying. As what?
I was a merchandiser for Pepsi.
Everybody don't have that opportunity.
You're right.
Most people work when their first job, they are working in the fast food type situation. There might be some that entry level type jobs. They're on probation for like 90 days, you know, type situation, so that they have to keep on that straight and narrow. But everybody doesn't have that opportunity, you know, to have a job like that. So I just, you know, I'm sorry, but that's how I feel about the situation. And I don't look for anybody to agree with me. You know, we can disagree, but I've been on that side of creating schedules, budgets, and all that other kind of stuff, and payroll, and I know what I'm talking about.
So even how many employees did you have
under me?
Yeah, just like one time. You know, when everything was right. Let's say during October at the end of the fiscal year, when everything was right. You know, things like that.
I had 3 direct report managers. And in those stores, I had
salary, right? I'm talking about the ones that were getting minimum wage.
They were on salary, but no, I'm talking about as far as employees that were under me were about between 60 and 65 employees under me.
Wow.
They reported to my managers, that the managers reported to me. And I was moved around, so I didn't have just one district. I actually had 3 districts.
I was thinking about.
So then I ended up having 9 managers.
I was thinking about more of a store. How many employees did you have under you? That was getting minimum wage. That was making minimum wage.
Yeah, and minimum wage, you know, during the time that I was there, was raised from $6.80 to $7.25 while I was there. So that's not that much of a jump. $6.80 to $7.25. What is that? 45 cents. And I'm gonna tell you, the adjustments that I had to make in all of my stores to accommodate the 45 cents. I'm telling you, the menu prices went up, and people didn't even Menu prices went up. So if you're talking about jumping from $7.25 to $10, that dollar menu went up. I'm just saying.
I don't know McDonald's anyway, so I don't care.
I'm not talking about just McDonald's is not the only.
I don't need Burger King, McDonald's.
No, we'll take the endorsement. All day long. So, I just want
I
people
will eat it
to consider.
endorse.
I just need people to consider, stop looking at it from one perspective. And that's what hurts a lot of people when we weigh in on our thoughts on something. We're looking at it from one perspective. There are different ways to look at this thing. And I've said this before. I'm neither Democrat nor Republican. I listen to what the individual has to say. If it makes sense, I'll roll with you. If it don't, I don't. So we got midterm elections coming up, and you guys need to be reminded of this, that if you are upset with the way things are going right now, the vast majority of those that are listening to my voice right now do not vote during midterm elections. And that is when the changing of the guard of the House and the Senate takes place, not just every 4 years when you're voting for a president. So if you want there to be a change and you want whoever your candidate is to have support, now is the time. The midterm elections are coming up shortly. So now is the time to make those decisions.
Yeah.
Give whomever it is that you support the support that they need in the House and the Senate, because this is the time, the midterms. And most people, all they worried about is when the president's in there, they get mad. They're like, the House just won't do this, and the Senate won't do that, type stuff. But the reason why they can't is because they didn't get support during the midterms.
Yeah.
So just saying. So you gotta take your time, do that thing right. Look at who it is that you want to support. SOS Band. We'll be right back after this. The Bianca Burwell. So keep it loud.
Serious disease that can attack any part of your body. Lupus hit me and my kids. I've been buying lupus nephritis for myself and my family. Talking to my doctor, I learned about options, including clinical studies. If you have lupus nephritis, think about participating in clinical study research in the prosecution country. To learn more, call 855-567-STUDY or visit Lupus Kidney Study.
You are tuned into the Bianca Burwell Show, and just a reminder that the month of May is Lupus Awareness Month. The month of May is Lupus Awareness Month, and that's a serious disease. For some of you all that don't know, it is an autoimmune disease that can affect any part of your body at any time. It can flare, whether it's the nervous system, your reproductive system, your kidneys, and if you're not educated about it, it can kill you. So, just want to put that out there, that the month of May is Lupus Awareness Month. And for all of my people that are suffering from lupus, I'm going to share with you guys something real quick before we go to this crazy story with Pebbles and her $40 million lawsuit. I'm going to share this with you that wasn't shared with me, that I had to learn as I progressed, which is this. It is the food that you eat that causes the flare-ups. Think about it. All right. So we got some craziness that is going on. And you remember the TLC Crazy Sexy Cool biopic? I enjoyed it. I think they did an excellent job. Matter of fact,
I was surprised actually how good of a job they did, especially with Lil Mama. I'm not a big fan.
Man, Lil Mama played that.
She
I
killed
was looking
it.
at Left Eye.
I know, right?
I forgot that it was Lil Mama. I thought I was looking at Left Eye.
I'm like, wow, she really is telling this somewhere. Huh. That's right, I said. But yeah, they killed it, and it seemed pretty accurate to me because I saw the what was that called? The special on VH1 with them. The documentary on VH1 where they talk about their life and things like that.
Okay. All right.
But I saw that, and from the way everyone described Pebbles,
it was the same.
yeah, it seemed highly, the movie seemed highly accurate.
Yeah.
You know, me being cinematography, cinema, I pay attention to things like that
right.
more so than most people. But it seemed highly accurate, and it was a good piece.
Well, some people may not remember when Pebbles was on the Wendy Williams show.
I haven't seen it.
You didn't?
I'm not a big,
I'm gonna share this real fast. You said it. I'm gonna try to skip to where I need to skip to. Hold on one second. I'm gonna do this real fast because like I said, this was on Wendy Williams.
This is one of the biggest bogus lies that I saw in the movie. It was laughable, some of the stuff that you said on the top.
Even the behind the music on VH1.
All of it is that. 20 years later, throughout the years, by the time I was strong again, I was heartbroken. Throughout the years, by the time I was like, okay, I'm going to say something. It's too late. It's like, it's been done for so long.
Yeah.
But now you get this movie, and you took your lives to another level. So now I have to say something.
And you're suing them.
I have it all on the table. All options are open. Not just for, it's not really about the girls. If you really want to know the truth. Other than they are the messengers. You keep saying something that's not true.
Yeah.
That's not okay. But VH1, you are helping promote the untruth.
But it was a good
You
movie.
honey, no.
It was juicy.
How would you feel if you were being portrayed as something you're not?
I would be very upset.
And you're not being portrayed as who you are, a visionary.
Yes.
I'm not an assistant, just here looking around getting a hairdo there with some nail polish. I'm a visionary.
Oh, yeah.
The bottom line is you had your own attorneys. The only thing I did was get a referral for you because nobody knows you.
So the attorneys that you referred them to negotiate their contracts, the people that you knew all
No.
along.
I did not know that.
Okay.
20 years ago, we're in Atlanta. Oh, it's a reputable firm. So T-Boz is a shampoo girl. Are they going to pick up her call at that point in her life to say, I want to negotiate a contract? No, it has to be based on reputation. I'm saying would you please, I have a group that I want to sign, but they need representation.
Yes.
Please take the meeting. If it works out, cool.
In the movie, we saw that they were being paid $25 a week, and when they went platinum, they got RAV4s. Is that true? I'm just asking.
Look at my booth that I got for you. I don't do 25. I'm a very generous person.
Oh.
That's a lie.
Oh.
And in terms of the RAV4, that's what you asked for. That's what you wanted. Fine. I'm not a
Oh, that's what they wanted.
Yes.
Oh, so they were simple in their wants.
Listen, I'm not. You don't have to borrow money. Why didn't you want? You haven't made that. You just came out with a new group.
But they went platinum.
I went platinum too. No. First artist, first new artist contracts, and promotional tours. You do opening that tour. That's not Ferrari money, honey. We just got you and had conversations.
Did the girls ever see millions of dollars individually?
Yes. But I can't talk about things with you. I just know.
Did they spend foolishly? Did you see them spending like that?
That's their business.
Okay.
I don't do that. That's why we have conservative vehicles until you can afford what you're supposed to have.
Did you kick Chili out of the group?
Absolutely not. T-Boz died. And
What?
let me tell you something. And I love my little guy.
But tell the story. Why did they want her kicked out of the group?
Because of what they said was happening in the studio. I did all of my stuff, and I only came into the studio when I was producing the vocals, because I produce as well. But I'm over here co-directing videos, writing a road video. I'm over here doing the whole marketing campaign.
In the movie, we all saw that Chili had it bad for Dallas Austin and subsequently had a baby with him. Is that the conflict of interest that the other two girls didn't like? So they
That's
wanted
the
her out of the
conflict of interest. This is what they said to me. She said, you're doing this and doing that. They have group rules. I sat down with them real on and said, establish how you want to do this. You can do communication together. Make rules. Don't cross these rules. You got 3 girls. You got to keep them together.
So that's a little bit of Pebbles. By way of Wendy Williams, when she was on the Wendy Williams show, and I appreciate you, Wendy. You have definitely put in your time. You controversial, but you put in your time. And so now we have this situation. Yeah, she started off on radio. You know that, and she alluded to as far as, and Wendy asked her as far as the lawsuit. You're filing lawsuits. It was all through that interview. She was saying stuff that she didn't want. She couldn't talk about. It's stuff that's on the table. So apparently, Pebbles has finally taken legal action against VH1's parent company, Viacom, for which she called many false and defamatory statements made about her in the network's original TLC biopic, Crazy, Sexy, Cool. So the New York Post reports that Reed, who is also a singer and music executive, filed a $40 million lawsuit against Viacom on Friday over the 2013 film. So the suit claims that Crazy Sexy Cool portrayed her as a cunning and dishonest businesswoman who hoodwinked 3 innocent girls and exploited their talent for her own personal gain. That's what it says. So since the movie's record-breaking premiere, and that was last October, it proved to be VH1's most watched original movie of all time. Reed has been very outspoken in denouncing the biopic throughout an array of media interviews. She has also released a statement on her website, and part of it says this: first, I want to thank all of you for the well wishes and prayers. I apologize for the delay in responding to the movie, but I wanted to gather my thoughts. I have always been a private person, and this unprovoked attack has been extremely upsetting to me and my family. I have needed time to spend with my family and for personal reflection. The movie contains many false and defamatory statements and scenes about me. Please know that I have never cheated or misled anyone. I will defend my reputation, accomplishments, and character. My attorney is in the process of demanding a retraction of the false and defamatory statements and scenes about me from VH1. And it goes on and on. I just, I thought, like I said, I didn't get to that point, but she said that she told Wendy Williams it wasn't about money. But it seems to be that it is.
She had a lot of contradictions in her conversation with Wendy Williams. And also, if you're in film and we need to use your likeness or your name, you know what's going on in that film. before you allow us to use your likeness or your name. So she knew exactly what was going to happen. She might not like the way it looked when it came out, but she knew what was in it. And I guarantee you she probably had a script as well.
You think so? It's a possibility.
There is a high possibility. I have never met anyone in film that I needed to use their likeness or their name, which is their likeness, that did not read the script. They wanted to know what they're being a part of. They wanted to know how they were going to be portrayed, so they requested a script before they signed anything.
Mm.
And her being the businesswoman that she claims that she is, it does not compute. It doesn't make rational sense that she would not know how she's going to be portrayed before she signed away consent.
That's interesting. That's very interesting. I guess this is something that we're going to see unfold as time comes along, because it just seems apparent to me that if you're sitting on a national viewed television show such as Wendy Williams, hopefully all the things that she is saying is correct, because can they not then sue her personally for making defamatory comments and things of that nature? Because she said a lot on that interview that she had with Wendy Williams. She accused Chili of a whole lot. She accused Chili of cheating on having an affair with her.
She's not suing Chili or TLC. So that wouldn't matter. They can come up and say that because it is on record. They can't come up and sue her because what she said is on record, but they can't. But she's not suing TLC. She's suing Viacom.
She's suing Viacom.
And Viacom might settle for an extremely lower amount just because they don't want to go through the legal proceedings or legal fees and things like that. But other than that, she really don't have too much of a case because she signed consent.
I don't know. Well, I tell you what, this is something that's unfolding, so I guess we'll see exactly how it plays out. Should be continued.
She forgot about that consent letter that she signed. So legally,
well, that's it. Like I said, we'll see. We'll see, because apparently her attorneys felt like she had some kind of ground to file a suit like this. She could have said, I remember signing. I'm just saying. I could be wrong. It's a possibility. You know, it's a possibility. So that concludes yet another edition of the Bianca Burwell Show. Appreciate everybody for tuning in near and far.
Oh, yeah.
And also, we appreciate our 93.1 FM family up there in
Ohio,
the Buckeye State. You know, tomorrow we're going to be getting some, I believe we're getting some hair tests tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we get some hair tests tomorrow. And I'm thinking about, start doing a monthly networking situation.
Actually, you know what? I had the same idea, and I was going to talk to you about that today.
All right,
That's funny.
Well, let's talk
Great
about
minds think alike.
Let's talk about that after the show. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. The way that you can listen to us 24/7 is downloading the free TuneIn app. Just go to your App Store, your Play Store, whatever it is, whether it's Apple or Android. Download the TuneIn app. Takes less than 30 seconds. And search the Beat Josh Radio. Make us your favorite so that you can listen to us anytime. And also, if you have a smart TV like we do, you can download TuneIn app on that as well and hear us any time of the day. If you haven't done it already, like us on Facebook, just go to beatjoshradio.com and look at the F, and then and it'll take you directly to our Facebook page.
We ain't talking about the finger either.
Follow us on Twitter at BeatJoshRadio. Instagram is Bianca_Burwell. Real quick, Antonio.
Hey, Facebook, Antonio Wolf, ANTONIOWOLF, and on IG, Love True Production.
All right. So engage with us. Let us know what your thoughts are, different stories and things of that nature. Submit it to us and let us know what you're thinking. We'll see you on mañana.
Peace.
That was loud.
Yeah.